Well, knock, knock, who's there? Another episode of Smoochie Town. My name's Marco. I want to thank Purple Banter, Kati, and LJ for producing this bad boy. And before we get to this very exciting guest, let me tell you, it's the drop of the week, and we're going to rewind for a little bit. We're going to rewind it back about 6 years when I first came out here. I came out here for a film called The Chaos Brief, and it did so well, it was accepted into Cannes Film Festival, The Market, which, it did kind of well. So me, the cast, and the producers went all the way to Cannes, France. And guess what? It was beautiful. I was going to get a lot of Smoochie Towns that week. So as soon as I got there, I hooked up with a girl and I took her to Smoochie Town. And then 2 days later, I couldn't stop sweating in my sleep. Let me tell you, I was sicker than a dog. I went to the doctors in France and they diagnosed me with Hep C. Everyone was making fun of me, that I'm a dirty little boy. And then the sweating didn't stop after the medication was administered, so there must have been something wrong, okay? So I took an emergency flight, first class. It was fantastic, not the fact that I was throwing up and shitting out my pants. With the exec, went back to Tampa, Florida, where my mom was staying, and immediately went in the emergency room with her, and I was there sweating profusely, and the doctor comes in, and I had to tell the doctor what drugs I ever took in my life, and especially the past week. I looked at my mom. My mom was like, go ahead, honey. And then the list started. I said, Adderall, of course, weed, nicotine, caffeine, the usuals, Molly, ecstasy, acid, ketamine. You name it, I took it. And that wasn't the point of the whole story or me getting mono, but the point was that doctor didn't want to take me to Smoochie Town, let me tell you. Okay, that was the drop of the week. Sorry, mama. Okay, I'm excited for this guy, okay? He is a reality star. He's a physical specimen. He has a new bar open in Studio City called Jax's. It's Jax Taylor! Get that coffee, baby.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, my man. Pop that down.
Oh, brother.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm kind of hurting. I'm still coming off the Vegas flu, as they call it. Just got back from BravoCon, which was absolutely...
It looked sick.
Okay, so just to back up a little bit, I've been on reality TV for the last decade of my life, but I took about a 2-year break. Mm-hmm. And so I haven't been in that world in a long time. So going to Vegas with my wife, I was a little nervous. I was a little on edge. I was kind of like, are people still going to remember me? Are they still going to like me?
Yeah.
I just didn't know. I was just really, really nervous. But, Bravo was just so amazing. When they found out I was going to be out there, like, Jax, we definitely obviously want you part of our event and this and that. So I showed up, and we had probably the longest line, my wife and I, out of everybody in the cast.
No way.
We were there for 2.5 hours taking pictures. People were just so amazing, so nice. It was just so humbling. It just felt really good. I had girls rush into the bathroom trying to get pictures with me. It was crazy. I felt like Justin Bieber. Girls were just going crazy. And it was just like, I went back to my wife. I'm like, God, this feels so good. It felt, and then we went back to our room afterwards, and it was like, I was in such a high, because like I said, I stepped away from the show for 2 years. I'm back now, but, and I wasn't sure if I was going to fit in again. Like, I wasn't sure if I was going to just walk right back into the old routine, or I just didn't know. I was, like I said, I was nervous. So I had no reason to be, though, because everybody was just so welcoming. It was amazing. I had such a great time. We went to Jewel one night. James was DJing.
Yo, that looks, I'm friends with James as well. That looks fun as fuck.
It was awesome. People were chanting my name and all this, and it's like, oh my God, okay, I still got it. All right, cool. Yeah. Man, it felt really, really good. And got to hang out with some of my old Bravo friends that I haven't seen in a long time. It was kind of like a family reunion of all the Bravo shows. So we all got to hang out and see each other and reminisce. And I haven't seen a lot of people since I had a son, so the last time I saw a lot of people was I just got married. So
wow.
It was fun. It was fun reminiscing with everybody. It was really humbling, and it was emotional, and it's just good to be back.
I saw your stories on Instagram.
It was good to be back.
Insane, the lines and stuff. Do you enjoy that?
I do.
Or does it get annoying at a certain point?
No. We're there for the people. People pay a lot of money to be at BravoCon. It's super expensive to be there, and there had to be about between 30 and 40,000 people there. Oh, wow. It was a lot of people.
Most popular show, I'm assuming.
Vanderpump Rules, is the most popular show right now. And it was like I said, I can't even talk. It was just so surreal. As soon as we got out of the car, people were screaming and yelling like I was about to perform at Staples. It was insane. Like, I just haven't had that in so long. And like I said, and I was just kind of like, my wife and I were just so nervous. Like, are people going to accept us? Are they going to like us? Or are we going to get booed? I don't know. I didn't know what to think.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, why did you leave? What was the whole process of that?
Long story short, we just needed a break. We needed a break. I needed a break. I've been on the show for 9 years. I needed to recharge the batteries. I have thick skin. I was the bad boy on the show. But, I just kind of, after, just being on the show for so long, I needed to step back for a little bit. And, I talked about it with my team and NBC's team. And, it was just a good thing. It was a good thing. But like everything else, I missed it. I missed it a lot. The networks missed me. The fans missed me. And we thought, you know what? 2 years went by. COVID happened. We had a baby. The world was changing. I just didn't know if I want to be back on TV again. I didn't know. And then I talked over with my wife. I go, what do you think if we, go back? And I go, I got to be honest with you. I miss it. I miss it a lot. You know what? This is what I'm good at. I'm good at this. There's not very many things I'm good at. And this is one of them. So she's like, you know what? I know you miss it. I know you love it. I know it was a piece of you that, when you stopped doing it, it left you and you haven't been the same. So yeah, why don't we try it? And it just felt really good that the networks were calling me, and be like, Jax, we're excited about this. We're excited to have you back. And I got a couple projects in the works and I just got done filming House of Villains for NBC.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's amazing. Even though I was the first one voted off.
I haven't watched it, but thanks for the spoiler.
Oh, sorry. Well, I was the first one voted off, but I do come back. To the show. So, they can't get rid of the number one guy that easily. You can't.
Maybe number one guy in the group.
I think it was a very shocking to NBC that I got voted off first. Yeah. But I had such a great time. I was with the most iconic reality stars of all time. It's the 10 biggest reality stars going head to head in a house and competing. So, yes, it was a little embarrassing getting voted off first, but it's also kind of like, well, I am the biggest threat. I'm the biggest guy there. I'm the most athletic there. Between me and Johnny Bananas, we're kind of head and head. So we are threats. We're competitive people. So,
and he's probably one of the most quintessential reality stars from MTV.
Yes. Yeah. He's awesome. Really love him a lot. Him and I we got along in the house. We worked out together. We have a lot in common. We just, girls drinking, working out, we just had a lot in common. And, like I said, we were probably the two biggest competitors there. So yeah, if I was the other cast members, I would have voted me off too. I was aggressive. I came in there like a wrecking ball.
What's the process of that? Like, is it just physical challenges?
It's physical challenges. But like I said, I was only there for 4 days. So, I went balls to the wall. And that's the name of the first challenge, balls to the wall. Oh, wow, and I went in first of all, I've never been on a competition reality show before. Everybody else has. Everyone else has been on a show where they're eliminated. Yeah. I'm on a docu-series. I'm on a show where it continues like a soap opera.
Which is the show to be on because you don't have to worry about it.
I don't have to worry about getting voted off. So I've never done anything like this. So when I got approached by NBC, they're saying, hey, Jax, we're doing this show called House of Villains where it's the 10 biggest reality stars. You are the top of our list. We'd love you to have it. And I talked with my wife. Like I said, we were during COVID. I was going to have to leave her for 30 days. I didn't know how long it was going to be. It could be there a day. It could be there 30 days. I didn't know. Yeah. So we have a new son too. I'm like, are you going to be able to handle this by yourself? No help. We don't have any help here. So she's like, yeah, go ahead. I know this will be exciting for you. And I walked into that house and I was with some really iconic people like Omarosa, Tiffany, I Love New York, Tanisha from Bad Girls Club, Bobby Likes, Johnny Fairplay, Johnny Bananas, just some people that are just iconic in the reality world that were doing it way before me. The kind of people that kind of just laid the foundation for reality. So I was really out of my element, man. These women are tough women to go against. You're going against women.
Scary, dude. I've ever watched
especially like the girls from like the Bad Girls Club and like I Love New York. They're so witty and smart. They will kill you with words. And I'm a very stock fighter. I'm like, well, fuck you. And that's it. That's all I got. Yeah. I don't got
the reliable.
They're like, well, I'm going to take your firstborn. You're the devil. You're a demon.
What?
Like, I'm like this. I was like, I literally teared up. I had one of them. One of them made me tear up. I was like, you don't even know me. You're calling me a demon. And I was like, and then it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So let's rewind a bit. So you're from Michigan, right? You grew up, you went to Michigan State.
Nope. I went to Hall Road High, which is a community college in Michigan. I'm the only one in my family that didn't go to college. I started at community college.
Wikipedia sucks.
Why? They said I went to Michigan State?
Yeah.
No. I'm the only one in my family that didn't go to Michigan State,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Yeah, I got all doctors and engineers in my family, and I'm the black sheep. I was like, you know what? I went to college for a couple semesters, and I was just daydreaming. I was sitting in the front row like, why am I here? Why am I here? And one day I just said, you know what? I can't do this. I went home to my parents, like, I just can't do this. This is just not for me. It's just not for me. I tossed the books in the garbage. I packed up my car, and I moved to Miami. And I was like a week later, I go, it just wasn't for me. I just can't sit and read books. And my dad was such a conservative man. He's like, I want you to get your paychecks, get a good job. Everybody in our family just has really, really good jobs. And I'm that one that just didn't know what he wanted to do with his life, but I knew for sure I didn't want to go to college.
Yeah.
Because I was just wasting my dad's money. I'm like, Dad, I'm not studying. I'm not doing anything. I'm going to the bars. I go, I don't want you to pay for something like this. I go, I know you want me to go to college, and I know that's what you're, Grant, that's what you have in store. But I go, I'll make it on my own. I promise you I will. It might take me a little longer, but I'll figure out a way. And sure enough, I did. I did all right, but it took me a little longer, but I did.
So where did Jax come from? Because your real name is Jason, right?
Right. My real name is Jason. So I started modeling in Miami in 1999.
Signed with Ford?
My first agency was with, Ford Chicago. I signed with Ford Chicago, killed it in Chicago, did everything I could possibly do there. Then they're like, where's my next step? So I went to Miami, worked down there, signed with an agency called, who was down there? It was called Select. And then I was with Select. It was in London and Miami. Signed with that agency. Then I signed with Ford down there as well. I kind of jumped all over the place. Towards the end is when I started jumping all over the place. But in the beginning, I stayed right about there. Was with Next as well. But yeah, so went down there, modeled, did the thing over there, kind of did everything I could possibly do in Miami. And then I go, okay, where do you go next after here? Then you go to Europe. And then you go to Europe and build your book. It's like boot camp for models.
What?
So you go to London, you go to Germany, you go to Australia, build your portfolio, and then you go to New York. You don't go to New York until you go all these other places. Yeah, because New York's like the Mecca. It's like the Holy Grail. It's like going to the...
I would think going to Europe's harder.
No, it's easy over there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you more fitness or like runway?
That's the problem. So I was a lot bigger at the time over there, and I would go over there. They sent me to Milan, and I was like, I can't even get my pants. I can't even get the leg on. So they spent all this money. My agent's like, you're going there. I'm like, and I was losing a lot of weight at the time. I wasn't eating, but I was just, my body type was just too bulky. Like, and I'm like, I go, they're like, you need to lose more weight. And I'm like, this is not worth it. This is not worth it. I mean, I love the job and it's fun and everything, but I like to work out. This is not for me. So literally, I was supposed to be in Paris, whatever, for like a month. I was there for a week. I go, this is just not for me. Nothing against it. It was just a little bit too, the guys were a little too feminine for me. Like,
for sure.
I go, I want to do like Target and Kohl's and Old Navy and Walmart. Like those are the big jobs. Over in Europe, you do like the Vogue and the Men's This, which is cool and you're wearing fun clothes and everything, but the money's not there. You want to be doing the Walmart, the Kohl's, the Old Navy. And I go, listen, I love working out. I like to smile. Guys don't like to smile over there. They're androgynous. I don't know the word androgynous. And it's not me. That's not me. I go, I lift weights. I'm smiling. I want to be on the beach running and having fun.
Yeah, lifestyle.
I go, this is just not. So I got on a plane and I went back to Michigan where I'm from. And I was like, well, I guess this is it for me, right? And then they're like, well, you can go to California. This is in 2005 now. So then you're like, all right, I'll go to California. I go, because I asked, where can I do the jobs like Walmart and Kmart and all that other stuff? Like I want to do the Old Navy and Target commercials. That's what I want to do. You got to go to California. So that's what I did. And then,
So when you got to California, what was that whole process? Because I looked up your credits. You were in Sharknado?
I was in Sharknado. That was a little bit later.
That's a great cred, dude.
I did a lot of things. I was in Dexter. I was in Cold Case. I was in NCIS. I was in...
So you kind of went more to acting because there's more substance in that rather than
I thought I wanted to be an
actor.
Pretty. Well, I'll go back. So I signed with LA Models. As soon as I got here, I got with LA Models, and it was great. And then I thought, okay, I'm doing well here. Let's try this acting thing out a little bit. Then I started getting scripts, and I was like, I can't memorize shit. I am not good at memorizing. I go, this is not going to work for me. So I called my agent. I go, is there anything I can do like day playing or I just get like one-liners here and there? Can I do stuff like that?
Yeah.
I tried that out a little bit. I just wasn't good at it. I wanted it so bad. I'm like, I can do this. I'm a good looking guy. I saw American Pie on TV and I'm like, that's what I want to do.
Stifler?
I want to be Stifler. I want to be those roles. Put me in there. It's a lot harder than it is when you get out here. But, that's where it started. And then I was kind of just teeter-tottering out here, doing modeling jobs, not sure what I wanted to do. Got a girlfriend, Stassi, at the time. And then I was just kind of getting out of the modeling industry. I was 30. When I got out, I was like, I want to say, what am I, 44 now? So I got out when I was 31.
You're 44?
I'm 44.
You look fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm 28 and we look the same age. What is going on?
I got out of modeling. So when I left modeling when I was 31, I was done. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get a bartending job. I don't want to model anymore. I just didn't like it. There's no union. You're not protected. I was always behind. I would work a lot, but it would take forever to get my paychecks. I go, this is just not fun for me anymore. So I was working at Sir, got a job at Sir.
And this is before the show.
This is before the show. Yeah. I started dating Stassi on the show. I started dating Stassi and she got me a job at her bar, which was called Sir. And I started working there. And then I was like, I just don't want to be in California anymore. So I called my dad. My dad's like, are you done playing around? You done jerking off? He's like, you had your fun, you're fixed. Are you ready to come back and get a normal job? I go, yeah. I go, he's like, what do you think you want to do? I go, I know what I want to do. I want to be a firefighter. He goes, okay. I go, how much money? He goes, how much money do you have? I go, Dad, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have anything. I go, I'm living like paycheck to paycheck. I'm overdrafting. He's like, listen, I'll make you a deal. I'll cut you a check. I'll put money in your account. You pack up your truck right now. I had a big truck at the time. Pack it up and get home. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. Okay. So he did that. I packed up the car. It was like it was a Thursday. This is a really good story. It was like Thursday or Friday. My truck's all packed up. I had an old GMC Sierra. Packed it all up, packed to the brim, get ready to go. I get a call from Lisa Vanderpump. This was Saturday. Jax, I have an audition for you. We have this idea for a show. And I'm like, fuck. I go, it's Saturday. I told my dad I leave on Monday. He's like, the audition is Tuesday. It's a kind of for like a pilot for this show, which is now Vanderpump Rules. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I've been promised so much stuff. You know how many commercials and shit I went on, and I got it and I never got picked up. But you know how you ever do that where you book a commercial? Sure. I shot Old Navy commercials, Target, you get them, and that's only halfway. That's not even, once you shoot the commercial, you don't even know if it's going to air.
Oh, so, and if you're not in the final edit, you don't get the buy.
Well, I didn't realize what that meant. Like, that's only half of it is getting it. Then it has to air for you to even make the money. So it's like, anyway, so a lot of that happened. I booked Old Navy. I'd film it, didn't get it. Taco Bell, filmed it, didn't get it. I was just getting stressed. I was fed up. I'm like, this is, I'm done.
Were you just catfishing casting? Did you not?
I would get the part. No, I would get them. I would get the part. We'd film it, and they're like, oh, we went a different direction. Oh, we went a different direction. Oh, we decided not to use it, or you're cut out. Yeah. And it was just like one after the other, and that's brutal in your ego. It's discouraging. And so, I'm used to, I was a big fish in a small pond. Now I'm out here, and I'm a small fish in a big pond. I'm like, what is going on? Like, it hurts my ego. I have a big ego. I'm a good-looking guy.
I'm not a demon.
What the fuck? Yeah. So, I don't know what it was. A little birdie on my shoulder said, Jax, stay, go to this little audition. I said, okay, I'll stay. I didn't tell my dad. I left a day later. I go, Dad, no, I went to the audition. I go, Dad, I forgot what I told my dad. I go, Dad, I can't leave till Wednesday now instead of Tuesday, because he knew when I was leaving. He was tracking me. And so I did the audition. And I guess the rest is history. Literally had $0 in my bank account. I had $1,000 that my dad get me to get home, to drive from here to Florida. And, I stayed. I did the audition, and
what was that season one like? Did you know what you're getting yourself into, or did you understand that this is going to be one of the biggest reality shows of all time?
We had no idea. And reality back then too was very wishy-washy. No one knew. It was almost like, if you're going to be an actor, you can't do reality in those times.
Same. That's literally my predicament right now. Yeah,
you couldn't do it. Now everybody has reality. Everyone. Mark Wahlberg's got a show. Clint Eastwood's got a show. Yep. Everybody's got reality. It was a different world though. But as soon as you crossed over to that reality world back then, I can't remember how many years ago. This was 12 years ago. 13 years ago, goodbye being a real actor. So you had to make the choice. And I was like, well, I'm not going to be an actor. I'm not good at it, but I think I'm good at this. So we had all my friends worked at this bar called Sir. It was just chaos. It was very incestuous. We were all sleeping with each other. We were all hooking up with each other. It was the hot spot in LA at the time. I loved my job. I loved bartending there. And Lisa Vanderpump was like, listen, you guys are a crazy fucking bunch of kids. That's what we were. We were a crazy bunch of kids. We all hung out together. We worked together. We were just kind of like, we were like the cast of Friends. We were just always together all the time. And she was like, you know what? I think there's a TV show here. There's a TV show here somewhere. So she pitched it to her producers, because she was on Housewives at the time. She pitched it to the Housewives producers, and we did a casting just like this, interviewed, and the rest is history.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's how it all came about.
So now you're on House of Villains, and I just got off, it's currently airing Fuckboy Island.
Yes.
It's on the CW.
Congratulations.
So thank you. It's more competition based though. So how, as a reality show veteran, any advice for a newcomer? And because I was an actor,
Right.
and I still am,
Right.
but at the end of the day, what gets me off isn't winning an Oscar or an Emmy. Like I like being myself. I like hosting. I like doing this shit, you know?
Yeah.
So what advice would you give me navigating the reality show route?
Now, is this your first reality show?
I was on X on the Beach on MTV
Okay.
For like 3 episodes.
Was
back
that a
in the
competition
day.
show as well?
It was. Dating as well.
you know,
I
the
want to be like on a Vanderpump Rules, like a Jersey Shore-esque.
Yeah.
You know? Like
Yeah. I mean, keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, you know, you're doing, I think you're on the right path. You got the podcast, you're on these reality shows. I mean, there's nothing, I'm surprised you're not on one by now already, to be honest. You know, the mistake that I made was not doing my research. When I went on this competition show, my manager, my friends were saying, you need to study. You need to know what you're getting into. I'm like, fuck that. I'll bully my way through it. I'm a guy. I'll just bully.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to do. That was the worst thing I could have ever done. I should have watched Survivor. I should have watched MTV, because it's not just about bullying. You got to be mentally ready. Like, you got to fuck people over. You got to cheat, lie, and
I don't
steal.
want to fuck people over. I
I
wouldn't
know,
want to.
and I didn't want to do that either. And I was the biggest villain. And I did when I was on Vanderpump. I was that guy.
Yeah.
But now they're putting me on a show where I worked so hard. I went to so much therapy to get rid of that piece of shit human being that I was. I was a piece of shit. I was a cheater. I was a liar, steal. I did anything I could to get to the top. I didn't care. I didn't care about anybody. I was steamroll over everybody. Yeah, the audience loved it. Yeah, I was making tons of money, but I hated myself. It was misery. So I worked really, really hard on myself to be back to the person that my mom and dad raised, because I just lost it all when I came to Hollywood. I didn't give a fuck who I hurt here. I didn't care. I didn't give a shit. And you know, now they're putting me on the show House of Villains, where it's like, okay, it's okay to lie, cheat, and steal. And I'm like, wait a minute, I just paid so much money to make therapy to make sure I'm not that person. And I have to work really hard on myself, even to this day, to be a good human being, which shouldn't be hard to be a good person. It just should be really easy. But I've done it for so long, and it just comes so easy to me that I have to work extra harder. And it's just a really sad thing to say, but I've come a long way, and I have a beautiful wife that saved my life. I have a child that saved my life. I love my life the way it is. And I think that's a big reason why I kind of didn't last that long on House of Villains, because it came so easy to them. And I walked in and they're like, Jax, you're not, even my wife was watching the first episode. She's like, who are you? I go, you kept your mouth shut. You were nice to everybody. I go, I don't want to be this person. I go, yeah, they're paying me and they're saying it's okay to be this person. I just don't want to be that guy. I don't want to lie and cheat and steal. I don't want to do any of that. I go, I'm just going to play the game. Honest. Didn't get me anywhere, but you know what? I'm okay with it. I left the show. I still got paid. It didn't matter, but
sure.
You know, I left the show happy. I was okay with how I left, because
your parents probably loved it. Loved seeing you in that way.
Well,
what they think of Vanderpump?
Unfortunately, my father passed away 5 years ago, and I don't really speak to my mother anymore. So she probably watched it. Who knows? But I was okay with myself, and when my wife watched it, she was okay too. I'm like, yeah, I got voted off early, but I'm happy with how I acted on the show.
So do you now like being a business owner with Jax's in Studio City?
I do. I got very fortunate, you know, to be a partner with the guys that own Rocco's. The
Rocco's and Wheel?
Yeah, they own all the Rocco's. My partners, they own the 90 at USC. They own Heart Bar in West Hollywood.
Wait, is that Lance Bass?
Lance Bass is a partner in Rocco's.
Because he's an officiant. Didn't he officiate your wedding?
He was.
That's so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Did the rest of the crew go there and sing a little fuck? I love Bye Bye Bye. That's my karaoke. Every time.
Lance and I became friends over the years through Lisa and everything. And then we just kind of became friends. And then I was like, you know what? I really love him to officiate my wedding. So
that's awesome. How was that? Was it a fairy tale?
It was awesome. It was, I mean, especially because everybody at my wedding was big NSYNC fans too. And singing Bye 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 at my wedding. Like everybody, I mean, it's iconic. Like my sister, all the people that are younger girls were all like, holy shit. We have somebody, I'm even looking up at the stars. I'm like, I have somebody from NSYNC at my wedding right now singing Bye Bye Bye. And he married me. It was just like, it was very surreal. I was very blessed. He's such a great guy. He's so nice. And I love him to death. I was very fortunate to have him. Yeah.
How was being a new dad? And how old's your son? What's his name?
My son is 2 years old. His name is Cruz.
Cruz? Good name. That's a good creative name.
Cruz, yeah, Cruz Michael. He is the best thing in my life. I love him to death. I love being a dad. I mean, I always knew I would be a good parent when the time was right, but and I knew, I'm like, how I was, my wife's an amazing mother too. I was a little worried, I was a little scared, but I tell you what, it's the best thing in the world. It is the best thing in the entire world. That kid saved my life. Between him and my wife, he really, really saved my life. But yeah, I really love it, man. I think about him all the time. I love hanging out with him. He's about to start school in January. I can't fucking believe he's about to start school.
4?
He's 2.
He's 2?
Yeah.
Oh, he's starting early. He's a smart kid.
Yeah, he's starting early. Yeah, he's going to school in January right now, and right now he's just a bundle of joy. Such a good kid, doesn't cry, just laughs all the time. Super smart, great with numbers. Takes over the iPad, the phone. You know, eats like he's huge too. He's like my wife's side of the family they're all big. You know, they're like 6'4", 6'5". They're all from Kentucky, so all like corn fed, big boys. All her brothers are huge, and yeah, he's a big boy. He's huge already.
Well, you played hockey growing up too, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to get him into hockey?
I'm going
to put him in a dangerous sport.
It is
so
very
as a parent,
dangerous.
it's probably like, because I don't think I'll let my kid play football. With the concussion shit, it's just like some of the shit you see out there.
I was thinking that same thing too. I was talking about with my wife. I'm like, I don't know if I want him to play football because it's very dangerous. It's not like when we grew up. It's a different world now. People are vicious. The game is faster. Kids are stronger. It's just a scary.
They're looking like 2 years old. Like
people are lifting weights online. It's like it's just we didn't have social media and any of this stuff. You know, like we just did whatever we wanted. The kids now are working out younger. They're taking supplements. They're stronger than they should be. You know, you got like grown men in high school. I look at these kids and I watch college football, and these guys are gigantic, and these high school kids are huge.
Massive.
And they didn't look like that when I was younger, you know? So I don't know. I'm going to put him in a little bit of everything, and I want him to choose. I don't care if he wants to dance, if he wants to do gymnastics, soccer, football. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to load him up with everything so he can't get in trouble. Yeah. That's what my parents did. I was so busy with extracurricular activities that I didn't have time to get in trouble. I was in sports, or, you know, I was just always loaded up with stuff to do.
Were you the cool kid in high school?
I didn't become the cool kid. I didn't become the cool kid till my senior year. I started dating. I grew into my own looks my senior year, and I started dating a cheerleader my senior year. And I kind of ditched. Like I was like middle of the pack up until my senior year, you know, and then I kind of left that group and moved hanging out with the cool kids. All of a sudden got the varsity jacket, dating the cheerleader, and like
the quintessential high school experience.
Yeah, because majority of my high school I wasn't around. I was playing hockey, so I was traveling a lot. So I wasn't around for a lot of dances and stuff like that. I didn't really have much time because I played travel hockey growing up.
Yeah, like juniors.
So, I could have gone, but I decided not to do that. Okay. I kind of went another different direction, but. My life was surrounded by hockey. I was always in Canada. I grew up in Michigan, so we always were playing in Canada. I was in New York. I was never around. I was barely in school because I was like, hockey was my life. It's all I did.
Did you lose your virginity to that cheerleader?
I didn't lose my virginity till I was 19.
Oh, late bloomer.
19. I lost my virginity.
It was just like,
and it was exactly. Have you seen the movie American Pie? Just like that. Exactly.
You had sex with your friend's mom, Siffer's mom?
No, it wasn't that. It was like the Tara Reid, when Tara Reid hooked up with him in bed. It was spring break. I came back home from spring break. I met a girl that we all went up to my buddy's cabin in the woods. All of us, all the guys, had great beach day and stuff like that. And this girl was a little older than me. She's about a year older than me, so she's a little more experienced.
Yeah.
And of course, I lied to her. She said, "Have you done this before?" And I said, "Sure."
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll leave it right there. But I lost my virginity when I was 19 to, it was just like American Pie. That was like, you know, all my buddies were at a cabin up north. We're all on the beach and, you know, having fun and drinking and stuff. And it was only a 2-bedroom cabin, and it was my turn to get the room, you know, with the girl. So
nice.
It was just like that. Yeah. Yeah. It was good. And like, you know, of course I fell in love with her. Like, I was 19 years old the first time having sex. I fell in love.
I was
like, I'm going to get married to her. Mom and Dad, this is it. This is over.
Dude, I got a crazy virginity story. I lost mine on a baseball mound. A little different from the American Pie, but kind of same. And I went to all boys Catholic high school. You're raised Catholic too, right?
Yep.
All right, yeah. So she went to my prom, junior prom. I was 16 on a Friday, and then I went to hers on a Saturday, right?
Okay.
And we had sex both nights. Lost my virginity. I was in love. Like in love.
Yeah.
Allie Carson said, I'll never forget. And then come Monday in school, I found out that
was like 5 years ago for you.
It wasn't.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm 28. And I found out from a friend, she went to fuck her ex-boyfriend who I go to high school with both nights. So then for like the longest time, and kind of still am, I feel sexually inefficient. Like, because she had to go fuck someone else to get her rocks off right after me. And I was in love with her. Like, dude, I wanted to propose. And my mom was like, what are you doing? You're 16.
Oh, I had no fucking clue what I'm doing. And I just to take it a step further, I like literally did not know what I'm doing. And when I say it literally, I was like, this is too much to say it. Well, I was pumping hand lotion in my hand and rubbing it on me. And she's like, what are you doing? I was like, She's like, you're going to give me a yeast infection. I'm like, what is it? First of all, what is that? Second of all, how else am I supposed to get it in there?
Yeah, come on.
I didn't know. Like I was lying through my teeth. I was just like, oh, I've done this. It was so embarrassing.
Full bottle of Jergens on her.
I tell you what. Yeah, it was quite embarrassing. I didn't know. I just didn't know. I grew up in a very Leave It to Beaver, conservative, and suburbs in Michigan. You know,
were strict. Your parents
it was just
strict?
very. Yeah, they were strict, but we were like everybody left their doors open. And when I say I grew up like American Pie, the first one, that was like my neighborhood. We all lived in the same block. All my friends. I would be over Timmy's house for dinner. Nobody locked their doors. The garage doors were open. Everybody trusted everybody.
That's cool.
I went to school. I did everything good in school. Friday nights were football games. You know, Saturdays you were hanging with your boys and helping your dad on the weekends, or you're playing with your buddies in the neighborhood, and you're going to the fort in the back and riding dirt bikes. I grew up in the early 90s, you know?
Yeah.
I was born in 79, but like the early 90s were a different time. And it was just so much fun. It was so much fun. Mm-hmm. And I wish my son could enjoy that part, how I grew up, because nowadays kids just don't, I feel like they just don't have fun. But yeah, that's how I grew up. Very vanilla. Nobody in my high school, like there was maybe one kid who lost his virginity. It was just very not.
Oh wow, just a bunch of prudes there.
Just everybody held hands and made out and kissed. I think that was just it. Like I think there was one guy who like fingered. I think one guy like fingered a girl in the back of the bus. It was like a big deal. Like it was just we just didn't. We just
deal.
I don't know. It just wasn't. It wasn't like a thing for us. It wasn't. Until it was.
Yeah.
Until it was.
How do you feel about raising your son in Los Angeles now and comparatively? Because
it's very tough.
I couldn't imagine being, because like I came out here when I was 20, like a high schooler in Los Angeles with the temptations, with the opportunities. Like, are you nervous for the future with that? And are you going to go elsewhere?
It's the conversation we're having right now, my wife and I, and I'm like, I told myself, first of all, I would never get married. I would never get married. I never wanted kids. I never wanted dogs. I would never have a house. Now I have all of that. Yeah. I was just a very selfish person. Now I have all this stuff. I'm like, when we got married, I go, I'm just telling you right now, we're not having kids in LA. It's not happening. I come from middle America, public schools. I don't want any of this. This is disgusting out here. I'm not raising a child in this mess.
Yeah.
Now I have a child and starting school, and I'm like, it's tough because I want to shelter him so much. It's a different world. I'm still learning, you know, the world has changed in the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. And every week, I feel like every week the world is changing still, you know, I'm still learning. I feel like there should be a book for the people that are my age, still trying to teach my kid on what to do, what not to do. I just want him to be a good kid. I just want him to be good. And I want him to be nice to everybody, friendly to everybody. You know, have a big heart, but then again, I also don't want him to get walked on over it either. You know, I want him to be a tough kid as well.
Balance for sure.
And I just want him to treat everybody nicely. I want him to be kind. That's basically my big thing. And this place is just one of those places that'll chew you up and spit you out really easily.
Yeah.
Luckily though, he's got good parents, and he's very, I worked my ass off the last 10 years to make sure I can give my son everything that he wants. You know, I don't want him to be spoiled. I want him to work for everything and be a good person, respectful. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. My wife's from Kentucky. So that Southern, like, you know, just responsible, like a little gentleman, basically.
Is it fun to visit there, Kentucky? I
love it. I love Kentucky. Really? Yeah, I love my in-laws. I have great mother-in-law. I have a great father-in-law. My brother-in-laws are great. I love going there. We go there. She lives on a 500-acre farm, horses, pigs. 500
acres?
It's Kentucky. Everybody's got hot horses, you know? So,
oh my God.
500 acres. We got all the animals. She lives in the middle of nowhere on the Kentucky River. It's just gorgeous. You can hear yourself think when you go out there. No cell phone service. She has a farm, and all her family lives on the farm. Like her aunt lives over here, her grandmother, her other aunt, all on the property. It's just so much fun. It's just like how I grew up. And I really, really wish my son could grow up like that. Just like going to the farm to get the eggs and stuff.
I mean, there's enough acres. You could totally move.
He does. Right? We go there a lot. We go there a lot. And it's definitely up there on one of the decisions when we do decide to move. Because I don't plan on staying here forever. Yeah.
Especially with like the job you have now, it's not like you have to be in LA for it necessarily. Maybe for press and stuff, but like you're only filming a reality show for a month and then like you do your thing. You know?
Well, now I have a bar here, and we plan on branching this bar. So the next place they want to move on to Tampa. Tampa's gonna be the next spot.
Oh no way,
so
bro! My parents live in Tampa, and shit, I'm going there next week.
All right, I'm so jealous. I just came back.
So speaking of the bar, I did a little research. So you opened at Jax. How would you describe what bear cheese is?
Beer cheese. What'd you call it? Bear
cheese. How do you pronounce it?
Beer. How do you say beer?
Beer
cheese.
Bear cheese.
Yeah.
Wait, is it beer or bear?
Beer. You make it with beer.
Yeah, but what am I saying?
Bear.
Like cocaine bear?
Yeah. No, we're talking like Budweiser. Beer.
Beer.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's beer instead of bear.
Right. Okay. Beer cheese.
Beer cheese.
You make it with beer. That's why it's called beer cheese.
How do you make it with beer? And does it taste
I
like Bud Light?
I can't tell you the recipe.
Oh, okay. Is that your favorite thing
you
in the menu?
make it with stale beer. So the beer has to sit out for like 24 to 48 hours.
Skunked? Yeah.
Skunked beer. It's a real crazy process in how they make it, but the stuff is absolutely delicious. My wife's mama, we call her mama. So it's a grandmother in the South. That's what they call it. She is like the world's best beer cheese. She goes to all the festivals. She makes this beer cheese that is so fucking good. I mean, you have it with pretzels and vegetables and whatever. And she gave the recipe to us.
Ooh.
We have it at Jax's, and we can't even keep it in. Like it's
really
every time we have to get the cheese from Kentucky. Kentucky will not send the cheese to California. So we have It's like we're smuggling in cocaine. Yeah. It's fucking cheese, but the cheese is it has to be from this place, and this they won't ship it. So we have to send somebody to the border of Nevada, meet somebody at the border to get the cheese and bring it in.
Why? Why are they being stingy with the cheds?
It's just their way. They won't ship it here. Yeah,
that's crazy.
We're gonna have to figure out a different process because I can't be sending a fucking runner to the border of Nevada and connecting smuggling cheese.
Beer cheese mule.
So it's delicious though. You got to try it. We're gonna start. We're selling it out of there too because people just want to like Postmate it and get it. And I want people to have it for the Super Bowl, for Thanksgiving and stuff like that. So we just opened last week. So we're still working out the kinks, but. I think we brought in literally in a suitcase, like pounds of cheese from Kentucky. we put it in our suitcases, and we brought it here for just to get the first batch. We thought it would last us. Okay, this will last us a month. Lasted like the first 3 days. It was gone.
Really? What's your favorite thing on the menu there?
The food is so good. I mean, we have a little bit of everything. We have mussels and clams and pizza and wings and pastas and the buffalo chicken sandwiches, and the Cruz has got his little menu for kids menu, and I got we got a dog menu on there for if you want to bring your pets. And but the pizza and the wings are probably some of the best I've ever had. And I'm not just saying that, but I partnered with the Rocco's Kitchen. So
Rocco's has the best boneless chicken I've ever had.
It's delicious. And the mussels and the clams are.
Oh wow, you got some seafood too?
Yeah, a little bit.
How are the drinks?
The drinks are obviously delicious. The bartenders are great there.
Would you hire me as a bartender?
I definitely would.
Really?
I definitely would hire you as a bartender. Absolutely.
Do you see a spin-off?
But we're not like what I love is about our bar, as opposed to nothing against all the other guys on the show who have bars who do the fancy cocktails. I'm not that way. I'm a sports bar lounge kind of guy.
Like that
I'm not a very fancy, bougie, West Hollywood $30 drink kind of guy. I'm a Jack and Coke. Give me vodka on the rocks. I'm not fancy. That's not who I am. So when I opened this bar, I was very specific on how I wanted to do this. We have the beer garden, and then we have the lounge. My wife she decorated the lounge. She loves the Polo Lounge at the Beverly Hills Hotel, so she copied that basically.
Nice.
And she has that. That's hers. And then mine is the beer garden, where we have the TVs, the picnic tables. It's just a lot of fun. We have the darts, shuffleboard.
What?
Toss the ring. We got Jenga. You can play games. I just want it, and I want it easy on the wallet because we're in tough times.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, it's like. Everything's just cost a fortune. I feel like
$20
is the new $100.
And it's like
it's the new $100.
Yeah.
Have you gone out? How is it? You can't even leave your house without spending $100 anymore.
Every date I go on is a minimum like $300. Obviously,
Easy.
I'm paying for everything, but like it's ridiculous.
I mean, I just went to like milk, for instance. I'd do 2 gallons of milk, $15 for 2 gallons of milk.
Where'd you go?
Iran? No, CVS.
Oh, really?
CVS. Just the healthy milk for organic milk.
Yeah. That's insane.
It should be Irwan. That should be the prices.
Yeah.
But even if you go to 7-Eleven, $6 for a gallon of milk.
That's nuts. I think that's just convenience based, because Ralph's got some deals.
Really?
I'm a Ralph's guy. They have everything. I like Trader Joe's, but the snacks are good, but they don't have the essentials like the meat and potatoes of everything.
Everything just costs a fortune. So my thing was, listen, I want cheap food. I want good food, but I want it cheap. I want people to come in there and they can wear shorts and flip-flops, t-shirt, watch the game. We're a Nebraska hub for Nebraska football. My buddy Dave.
Why are you a Nebraska bar?
Well, my buddy Dave is one of my best friends in my wedding. He's like, hey, obviously I'm a Nebraska alumni. Can I have my Nebraska, games here? And he was the first one. So I was like, yeah, sure. No problem.
Do you have memorabilia up and shit?
We have all the memorabilia. My wife went to UK, University of Kentucky. So when basketball season comes, we're going to do UK games.
There you go.
It's going to be an LA Kings wash place. We're going to be having.
You're sacrificing some soul on that one because you're a winger guy, right?
A little bit. But I want it. Like I said, I want it happy for everybody. I love the sport of hockey, so whatever. I love sports. I'm not such driven into one team. I just love sports in general. Yeah. So, We're going to have drag bingo. We're going to have karaoke. Karaoke starts next week, actually. We're going to have...
You know I love some good karaoke,
and
baby.
we're going to be doing live podcasts. People are going to be coming in doing live podcasts out of it. You can ever, if you ever want to do your podcast.
We are 100%
so
we'll make a pit stop over there.
So the people from like Bravo, all the Bravo shows that come in to visit, we're going to be doing live podcasts where you can come in, like we do a podcast on a Sunday. You pay what, $25? You get mimosas or Bloody Marys. You watch your favorite Bravo celebrities do a live podcast once a week.
What?
So this is all stuff in the works. But yeah, I've always wanted to do that. And I thought, this is my bar. Why not host a live podcast out of here? You know? And that way girls can come and watch their favorite, Bravo celebrities.
Sounds just inclusive.
Yeah, it's inclusive.
Which a lot of
everybody.
bars in West Hollywood and shit aren't.
Yeah. Like I said, it's for everybody. I have a little bit of everything. The menu is so good. The venue is so good. We're still tweaking things here and there. We had to, really rush to get the bar done fast for certain reasons that I can't talk about. But pretty excited about it. You'll see why in the future, why we had to rush. But now we're just doing the fine tuning and everything. And I'm just so blessed. It's every guy's dream to own a fucking sports bar. Yeah. I don't care who you are. I own a sports bar, and this is another thing that's keeping me here now too. So when I got this bar, I'm like, shit, now I really have to be here. It's not like I can just pick up and go. I have my name on a building.
Are you hands on?
Yeah. I want to be part of it as much as possible. I'm there. We have Monday Night Football, Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I promised it wouldn't take a toll on my marriage. I told my wife, I'm like, this is not going to interfere with us. I live 5 minutes from the bar. I drive my golf cart there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got a golf cart. I drive to work every day. I check in with everybody. I go in. I take pictures with everybody. I've learned to do water. Everybody loves to buy me shots. That's the problem I'm having with right now is everybody wants to buy me shots. Yeah. So now I'm always at the bar. I'm like, put it water.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's your drink of choice?
I drink vodka straight. That's all I drink.
Really?
Yeah. Straight Tito's on the rocks.
No way.
Yeah.
I think it tastes like rubbing alcohol.
I love vodka. I will drink tequila. We have a great relationship with Casamigos. They're our home. They're our people. Halloween was great. We opened Halloween night on the 28th. I know I'm jumping all over the place here, but good. We opened on Halloween. It was a huge success. We had the premiere for House of Villains there. I believe Love is Blind is having their party there. I'm really good with NBC, so NBC's kind of having all their premieres at my bar. So
let's go.
Yeah. People are renting it out for the holidays. We got about 9 parties rented out, which is great.
Yeah.
I can't complain. I'm just really fortunate that people love the bar.
I'd love to do a karaoke night there. I'll pack that place.
Yeah. I'd love for you to do it.
Barney's is my spot right now. But what would you say about, just get serious for a moment, the whole Randall situation?
Yeah, that's...
Not to change the subject, but like I'm curious.
What do you want to know?
I'm curious. Is he ever going to fucking pay you back?
He's just not a good person. He's not a good person. He's not a good father. He's not a good human being. He's got bad business ethics. And I didn't see that. I was just like, you know what? Everybody's talking bad about it. Everybody warned me about him. Stay away from this guy. He's a shyster, cuts corners. He's not going to pay you back. I've had 4 other deals with him. I do bridge loans with him. Not bridge. People make this right. Well, it's an investment. You're not going to get your money back. This is not an investment. This was a loan. It's a very big difference.
Him money. Isn't he a big fucking billionaire?
So what this a bridge loan is you invest in movies and then you get your money back plus. So I did 4 movies with him where I would give him X amount of money and I get X amount back. So the last movie I did was before COVID. It was about 2 weeks before COVID broke. And he says, hey, Jax, the movie's not going to happen. COVID's going, Hollywood's shutting down. Okay, cool. Give me my $100,000 back then. Well, I moved it out here. I go, what do you mean? I go, I'm not a fucking Hollywood studio. I'm a family man. I have a son that I have to supply. I got a wife. Like I'm not like Sony or Paramount where they're like, oh, whatever, keep the $100,000.
Yeah, I need that money back.
Not only that, I'm your friend, dude. I'm your friend. Like I've known so much about you. I've done so much. I stuck up for you for so many times. Why can't you give me my money back? What is your problem?
Yeah.
So he would rather tarnish a relationship and say, fuck you, Jax. And not pay me back. I don't know what to do at this point. Like, because I'm an idiot. I didn't have a contract. It was a handshaking deal. Fuck. I did 4 other deals with him which went smoothly. So I thought, okay, the 5th one's going to be fine. I don't know. So he owes me, I think he owes me $75,000 right now. We're about $75,000. So anybody hearing this, if they want to help me get that money back, I'll give you 10 off the top.
10 off the top.
10 off the top, cash.
Yo, let's
so if anybody wants to give me my money, that's $75,000.
Let's go.
And if somebody
bro.
can help me get that money back, that would be great. I don't have the power like 50 Cent. Remember 50 Cent? He owed 50 Cent money.
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
And
he got his money by Monday.
Well,
Remember the money by Monday?
Yeah.
And I did message 50 Cent about it and everything. I told Lala, get a hold of 50 Cent for me. Give me some info. What do I do? I mean, I'm a family guy. I'm not a studio. I don't have that kind of money where I can just, there's 75 grand.
Yeah.
No, I worked my ass off for that money. I need that back.
Exactly.
I go, you don't have to give me the interest or whatever. Just pay me back what I gave you. That's fine. No. Being around the bush. No, never talk to me. So
he just seems like a scumbag.
he's just a scumbag.
Visually,
he's a terrible person, and he would rather burn bridges and lose friends rather than just do the right thing. Like, why can't you just do the right thing? He should. He should.
He doesn't deserve it though.
Yeah. So it's really heartbreaking. It really is. And people warned me. I just didn't see it. I was just, you know what? He's never done anything wrong to me. So I was kind of like, okay, but it's my fault.
What would you say your vice is?
My what?
Vice.
For example?
So personally, I love alcohol, but I like shrooms.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to become legal soon. And I like microdosing like chocolate shrooms because I feel like I drink less. There's no hangover, and I just think more creatively.
Right.
What would you say yours? Alcohol for sure.
I go ups and downs with alcohol. I think owning a bar has gotten a little. I'm not a really big drinker, but ever since I opened this bar, it's been tough because every time I go there, people want to buy me drinks. But and I used to get after it really big time back in the day. And ever since, like I said, I got married and have a kid, that all had to stop. I'm like, I just don't want to do that kind of thing anymore. And, it was over. But I do love to smoke weed. You do? I do. I'm a big weed
let's
smoker.
go.
So,
same.
Usually around 6 o'clock, I'll meet my wife on the couch and, she'll do whatever hers and I'll do what I have to do. And like the microdosing, the mushrooms is kind of good too. I like doing that. I don't want to take medication. I do have the ADHD and stuff like that.
I prescribed Adderall and I stopped taking it. You know why? No joke. Magic Mind right here.
Yeah.
So it's a basically a mushroom shot, but it's not actual psilocybin. It's filled with like nootropics, lion's mane, and it's all that jazz to get you a steady flow state of energy. So I take this in the morning with my coffee.
Yeah. And you dump it in your coffee?
No, because it tastes kind of like greeny.
Yeah.
But it tastes good.
It's
fucking fire. If you want to try it, it's good. It's just like a steady flow state of energy. There's minimal caffeine in it, ginseng and stuff.
I'll try it. Does it taste like crap?
No, it's actually pretty good for the ingredient list, and you can feel
it's delicious.
Right. Yeah. And you can feel the effects of it. I'm not even kidding, especially with the coffee. You only need 1 cup of coffee because coffee gives me anxiety.
Yeah, it does. But I need my cup of coffee in the morning, and I like crap coffee. Like I hate Starbucks. I like gas station, AM, PM, truck driver coffee.
Really?
Yes. I'm a huge AM PM fan. So if they're listening to this, I am. Oh my God, I reach out to them all the time. They follow me on social media, but everybody makes fun of me because I always walk with my AM PM gas station coffee. I just love gas station coffee. It's my favorite. I'm like a Folgers, Maxwell House, and gas station coffee.
Yeah, are you a productive stoner? Because I can wake and bake. I can't wake up and then go to the gym high. I have a lot of friends that can. No. Can't do it.
And I act like an idiot. I'll stare at a wall for an hour. Like I can't do it.
Yeah,
I do it
bro.
before I go to bed now. I started smoking when my father died. I went through a hole. My dad passed away. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And this was 5 years ago. And I was in a hole and I would lock myself in my man cave in my apartment. And my wife was like, you can't keep doing this. I was just depressed. And I would sit in my room and I would drink by myself. And that's when it was getting bad. When you start drinking by yourself and you sit in a hole and shutting your door. And I didn't know what to do. And I was just in a bad place. I lost my dad. He was my best friend. I missed him by a day. I was on my way to see him and he died right before I got there. I was like literally flight the next day. It was a really bad situation. And I didn't want to end my life, but I just really wanted to numb my life. I wanted to numb it. And Brittany, thank God, she's like, well, why don't we try something? Why don't we try, it was marijuana. Why don't you try something? Because I'm not taking pills. I'm not doing drugs. I got to do something, but I got to fix my brain. I got to. And she introduced me to pot, And
you never smoked weed before?
No smoked cigarettes, never smoked weed, never did anything.
Really?
No.
Interesting.
My parents smoked. That's why I hated it so much. I hate cigarettes.
Your parents smoked, being conservative smokers. And shit? And oh, really?
It was a big thing in the 80s and 90s. Everybody smoked.
Yeah.
Marlboro Lights, my Marlboros, my dad would be Marlboro Reds, hardcore.
Oh, the cowboy killers?
My dad was a car dealer too. So he was a car dealer. He smoked cigarettes.
Okay.
So my mom was a hairdresser. They went with what they did.
This sounds like some movie shit of your childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my sister and I, just growing up with cigarettes, they never smoked in our house. They would smoke outside, but we just hated the smell. I just hated it. It's gross.
Yeah. Are you close to your sister now?
I am. I'm very, very close to my sister.
Does she live out in LA?
Yeah, she lives in Michigan right now.
Okay. Are you uncle as well? Does she have any kids?
No, they have no kids. They just have a couple dogs. My sister is in the medical field. My brother-in-law is a Finnish carpenter. They have a great life, beautiful boat. They have a great life. You know, they work hard, money in the bank, house paid off. Just all, you know, I'm jealous of them sometimes. You know, they have a great life.
Well, comparatively, dude, out here you can't even. The property is so freaking expensive.
I just got my property taxes are due now today. Actually, my property taxes are due today. I pay $22,000 a year in property taxes.
$22,000 a year.
$22,000 a year. That's a lot of money.
And that's just tax. You don't get
that's
any
my
out
property.
for that.
I don't get anything back for that.
That's
I just have to write the check.
Just the tax. That's insane.
Yeah, it hurts, especially at this time of the year. It's Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, it's
where would you want to live? If
anywhere but here.
Anywhere.
I'm so burnt out of California. I'm so burnt out of the spending. I'm so burnt out of just. I don't want to get into all that stuff. I'm just burnt out. You know, I just want to slow things down. I'm getting older. It's more about my kids now. I miss strip malls, middle America, you know, TGI Fridays, Applebee's. Like, yes. You know, I want to be in bed by 9. Like, I hate that I sound like such an old man, but this is just, I just live for my kid now, like what he wants to do. And I just wish he could grow up like how I did, you know? And it's tough here. It's tough. They don't make it easy for people out here. You know, they don't make it for the young people. They don't make it easy for entrepreneurs. They don't make it easy for anybody out here. It's constantly grinding. I don't know how anybody retires out here. Yeah. How are you supposed to retire living here? Yeah. It's impossible.
It's too expensive. And personally, you found a wonderful girl and wife now with Brittany, which congratulations. That's amazing. And I see you happy and stuff. But I hate dating in LA. The drop of the story this week was from a few years ago, but it's usually just a bad date. Girls will ask you what you do before how you're doing. They'll ask you what your sign is.
It's an interview. It's not a date.
It's not. Yeah, it's an interview. That's a good way to fucking
It's an interview.
And I hate how this town is made for older guys and younger girls, because girls, in my experience out here, they want the life. They expect rather than build with you.
And it's changed within the last, I want to say, 5 to 10 years, there was a shift. I don't know what happened here where just, I have about 2 or 3 single friends. They were grandfathered in. I don't have many single friends anymore. I don't really have any common. I hang out with parents now, like, other dads and stuff like that.
Is JM single?
JM single, yeah. Yeah, he's one of the ones that are grandfathered in because he was single when I was single. So there's only a couple left. And I don't really have much in common with my single friends. I talk to them once in a while, how you guys doing? But when I hear what they do, no offense, I couldn't imagine being single. I would kill myself if I was single. I wouldn't know what to do. My wife runs our life. She's the rock of our family. I love my situation. She tells me what to do, where I need to be. I love it. But just the fact of being single and going out there and dating, starting over, like, what do you like to do? Where do you like to go? Oh, God.
It's miserable,
God.
Dude. That's why I didn't want to give up my ex-girlfriend.
I no offense. You're a young guy. You should be single. But the fact, I listen to my friends, like, I went on this date last night and did this. Like, just going out making small talk with somebody. Like, oh, God. Sounds
Shrooms help small talk for sure.
I bet.
Let me tell you, bro. I'm actually interested in this. People like, dude, what did he get from Trader Joe's today?
I would have to be on that to go on a date. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Just have a little Magic Mind shop.
I always tell my wife, I'm like, please don't ever leave me. Please. I don't know what's going to happen.
Would there ever be a show, before we go, I took way too much of your time. Would there ever be a show at Jax's?
Absolutely. And I would love that. And maybe that could happen.
Maybe in the works?
Yeah. God, I wish I could tell you. I'm going to have to come back in January when more things are announced.
Yeah.
And we'll carry on this conversation. But there's stuff there. Yes.
Yeah, love to have
I just don't want to get in trouble. I'll get a phone call from NBC. No. Jax, shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
I do that. Sometimes I say things I'm not supposed to, so I have to be very careful.
No, for sure. Well, do you want to plug anything before you go? You have a podcast.
Just Jax's.
You have a podcast.
I do have a podcast. When Reality Hits, wherever you get your podcasts. Brittany and I are basically on there talking about everything in life. Vanderpump Rules, where the show's going. If Brittany and I are coming back, we like to interview villains. I was a villain, so I think villains are very important to reality TV. If you do not have a villain, then you do not have a reality show. Villains are why people tune in. So I like to interview villains, especially from other shows, and figure out what triggers them. What made you become a villain? Because no one sets out to be a villain on a TV show. You just I'm not going to, I didn't go in to be a villain. It just happened.
Yeah.
I tell what the people want to hear. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. I'm not going to do stuff just to be good on TV. If people don't like me, then whatever. But I like to interview villains because I think they're very interesting. They're interesting people. If you don't have a villain, then you don't have a,
Like, who hurt you?
What do you mean, who hurt me?
Like villains.
Oh, yeah. Like, how did it go? I call myself a reformed villain. I'm a reformed villain.
Okay.
Oh,
you're a reformed F-boy, too.
Huh? I'm a reformed F-boy. Yeah, God. God, I got through that phase of my life too.
What would you say I am? Because my status is I'm still on the show, by the way. It's a weekly basis, eliminations.
You like
still
it?
on the show. I do. But what would you say I am?
Well, I don't know personally. I do know you. Yeah, I do. I'm trying to be nice here. You're a me. You're a me at your age. I was you at your age. I literally all I cared about, and this is a terrible thing. And like I said, I love my wife more than anything. But all I cared about was hooking up with girls. That's all I cared about. All I cared about was going out, partying, and what girl I was going to bring home. That's all I cared about.
I do all those things.
I don't know what. And I didn't care who I hurt. I steamrolled over all my friends. I was a backstabber. I didn't care. I was just trying to climb the top, and I didn't care who I hurt. Did whatever I had to do. And it was just, I got like the song, Blinded by the Light. I was blinded by Hollywood for a long time. I just didn't give a shit. Just all I did want to do is party and have sex. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I didn't care about anything else.
Not a bad lifestyle.
Awful. No, it was great at
Not
the time.
sustainable, but
no, it's not. And it's just again, when I was doing it too, there was no social media. Okay,
which
there
is better. Now everyone's finding out.
We had flip phones when I was doing this. Okay, I was at a Razor. Okay, there was nothing.
Razor, yeah.
I got out. I had it was a good time when I was doing it. Let's just say that. Now I don't know how people get away with. I don't know how people get away with anything now. Social media.
Yeah.
You know, life was a lot better before social media. Let me just tell you, it was a lot better.
All right, before we dive into that, we're going to end this bad boy. I want to thank Jax Taylor for coming on. Listen to When Reality
Hits with Jax and Brittany, wherever you get your podcasts.
Stay tuned on his Instagram, Mr. Jax Taylor.
Mr. Jax Taylor, and I will be back on House of Villains. I know I got voted off, but I make a comeback.
Oh, baby, me likey. I want to thank Purple Banter, Kati and LJ, Happy Dad, Magic Mind. What a great episode. Thanks for
having me, man.
Right,
Talk forever.
I've been doing shows.